We'll get started in 1 second. Got a few adjustments we got to make. And if you guys would just keep doing what you're doing, tell us where you're from, and we'll get started in just a minute. All right, welcome everyone. Let me. You're gonna have to look at me for a few. Wait, no, you're not. I'll leave me small. So I knew there wouldn't be like a ton of people coming to watch this. One, the weather is amazing, at least on the East Coast, and two, not everyone's working from home, so it's going to be kind of it's not going to be total geeked out, but I'm a huge privacy and security guy. And, I feel right now our privacy and security, personally, they're being attacked from all sides. And sometimes you don't even know it. But I'm sure most of you guys feel that way about the government and some of the things that they're doing right now. But I'm going to tell you that schools are doing it right now, and your employers are doing it right now, those that are working at home. So I thought it would be a good time to kind of share some information to better secure and keep your privacy, better secure yourself and keep your privacy. So if you guys will give me a yes, I can hear you, yes, you're looking wonderful kind of thing, and I'll move forward here. I just want to make sure everything is going well here, and then we'll get started. I see people from Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Kentucky, Washington, Yepper, and where else we got here? Oklahoma, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. So they're all over. I can hear you great. Perfect. So we will get started. I do have a few announcements, and then we'll get right into the details of this thing. So in Pennsylvania, I see there. So the first thing is, you guys probably know who I am. There's my digits, my information. Not going to stay on that long. I guess, yeah, that's it. So I do want to share that I've written a book. It's called Case for Christian Preparedness. It's not very thick. I am not the best writer in the world. My wife can tell you that. But man, I have a big heart. When I was writing this, I wanted to make sure it was accurate and that I could give to my Christian friends a book that possibly could convince them to be ready to prepare. And it's my heart. It's on Amazon, Kindle, audiobook, everything. It's a good book to give someone else to get them thinking. I'm not saying it's a good written book, even though I had a genius absolutely edit it to make sure that my stories that I grabbed from the Bible, a lot of my Christian friends said, you know what? I'm going to just trust the Lord. And I said, well, you got to obey the Lord too, because he kind of tells us what's coming. So if you're not ready, and if you're going to trust him and you didn't do anything with the things he told us, it could be very bad. So I took stories like that in the Bible to prove my point. Next is I'm also the CEO of sunoven.com. We have ovens for sale on sunoven.com, also on eBay and Amazon. It's an amazing device. We help save people's lives. We really do. Imagine a third of the earth still cooks with fire or coal, and a lot of the mothers over in the continent of Africa will have their babies on their back or in their hut or on their chest, and the babies are breathing the smoke from the coals and wood, and it's and it really kills them. And this, they can just use the natural sunlight and cook. It's a great company and glad to be a part of it. Check them out and buy one. If you don't buy one, you're probably going to end up dying. So I did smile on that. Okay. PrepperNet, we're an organization of people throughout the United States that want to meet like-minded individuals in our own neighborhood. And that's what we're about. We have meetups in 68 cities. Just added a new Portland, Oregon, with over 1,000 people. The group just came over. So Portland, Oregon is added to the list. There's going to be meetups back when we can actually see other people and meet other people. There's going to be meetups where you can go and meet like-minded individuals. They could live down the road from you or 10 minutes away. But the idea is if you got to form a group, and the only way you can do that is through people that live near you. That's preppernet.com. I have the best expert panel in the world. I think NASA would be the only one that probably beats this. I got John Jacob Schmidt from Amron, Jonathan Hollerman, my brother from a different mother, Scott Hunt, Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy, Charlie Ogwood, Glenn Tate, Shelby Gallagher, Sam Kopler, Jane and Rick Alston, Franklin Horton, Ryan Mitchell, and Brian Duff. All wonderful, great people that help me quite often. So support them and give them a shout out. So PrepperNet, you can join. It's free. We do all kinds of things. Anyway, we have all kinds of things. If you like what I'm doing, the course I'm doing on Thursdays is a free course. But if you like the things that I'm doing, support me. A premium membership for PrepperNet is $40 a year. If you can't afford $40 a year, just tell me. I'll give it the premium for free. Seriously, it's not about the money. It's to pay the bills that this creates. So you do get 5 free books. You actually get this downloadable book. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. I can't see when I'm talking. Sometimes I can't see. Yeah. Okay. My book. So I need to get another monitor, which I've ordered one, so I can do this properly. I have a MacBook. If you go Mac, you will never use a Windows machine again. It's like going from a brand new 2020 vehicle to a Gremlin. Seriously, I'm being serious. Okay, so some upcoming webinars that some will be paid for and some will be free. Privacy and security. I actually walk you through a ton of different things: how to create burner phones, how to create burner laptops, how to purchase things incognito, how to go gray man totally, how to get your information off the internet. I mean, all of it. It's a big class. The complete family emergency plan, that thing is finished. I've yet to do it just because I've been so busy with this. I was going to release it February 1st, but with everything that happened, I decided not to. Mags and survival groups, that's kind of my thing. Family communication plan, that is a sub of the family emergency plan. That's a cheap course that I do, and it goes through with the documents, everything you need to do, putting together your family documents. I got the template. I got everything's in a survival notebook. Again, some of them are free, some of them are not, but that's coming up. If you're interested in any of them, let me know. So also on Thursday nights, this coming Thursday night, I'll be doing class 3, April 9th. It is, I changed the name of it. Forgot to change the slide. I call it Intro to Preparedness because some people don't like prepping. I don't like them people, but some people don't like prepping. So it's Intro to Preparedness. But it's a 7-week class, and we're on class 3. The other 2, 1 and 2, is on this YouTube channel. You can go and watch for free. Okay, so now we're going to get here involved. Let me check the chat room. We got people in there chatting. We're going. Again, I knew this wasn't going to be a huge. What happens with these technology ones, very few people show up to watch it the first time. But over time, a ton of people, because a lot of people just like to, they'll search it and find it. And so, but this is so important because some people are working at home. And if you find this relevant for maybe coworkers or family members, please share it because there's some good information here. I like to say so myself. But anyway, so this is all about privacy and security from home. And okay, let me just tell you, I literally thought of this last night, and I'm like, you know what? This is important because a friend was asking me, he's working from home, and he's like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't want to. And so I was walking him through everything. And I'm like, you know what? There are other people. People need to know this information. And so I put this together today, kind of sitting on the couch. So if it doesn't flow as smooth as some of my other ones, not that they are real smooth, but if it doesn't, give me a break here. I hope everything's spelled right. I hope everything's great. I put it together kind of one time through. I did borrow some slides from a couple other different presentations, but you know what? You get what you pay for. So with that said, working from home, it's a balance of keeping your job and working from home while protecting your privacy and security. So a lot of people are working from home, but they're just giving up some of their privacy and security and they don't even know it. And you don't want to lose your job. So anyway, we got to balance that and how we can do that. And with that said, you need to separate your real life, meaning who you are at home and with your friends, your church, your survival group, and work. You need a dividing line and you need to separate them. And some of you guys, that's going to be hard to do because you don't do that. And that's not good. You need to do that. And I think some things will pop up in your mind as we go through this going, ooh, maybe I do need to do that. So that's kind of our goal, is separate our real life from our miserable work life. Even if you love your work, okay, you still need to separate it. Okay. So I'm going to go through here every now and then. I'll check over here to the chat and just see anything that's going on. And okay, go back over here. Said, okay, the first thing I want to tell you is don't use your personal computer. I guarantee you a lot of you are. But here is, I would demand this as far as you can go without getting fired. If you want me to work from home, you provide me the tools I need at home. I don't care what job you have. You need to demand that, to the point that you don't get fired, though. But you need to demand that. A lot of people don't. My friend didn't. And I asked him, did you ask him? And he said, no. And I said, well, ask him, and they may give you a laptop. Laptops are cheap. And most companies, you just want it separate. So don't use your personal computer. Now, a lot of this course is about using your personal computer. I'm going to show you things that you need to do and alternatives. But you need to, if your company expects you to work from home, they should, 1, give you a cell phone, 2, give you a computer, and 3, possibly pay for your internet. That is standard operating procedures in most major companies. And I don't care if your company has 25 people or 57 people, that don't let your company get by with being cheap and doing things unprofessional, because that's very unprofessional to ask people to use their own computers, cell phones, and pay for some internet or a hotspot while you're working. I know at the bank, we would not ever even allow you to use your personal computer at all, even connected to our network, because it's so secure. And then we give you a laptop that has a VPN and everything on there. And, we would never do that. But anyway, so, well, the company may say, well, you're a salaried employee and, you buy your own laptop. Well, if that's the case, you do need to go out and buy like a $300 laptop and get a phone with some, with a different phone than your personal phone. And we'll get into that a little bit. And you need to foot the bill. This is just what you need to do. And I know I'm going to tell you things you're not going to like, but anyway, you need to care more than, okay. Next thing, you need to have a company owned phone and computer. And hey, and you need a MacBook. I mean, that's a company that loves you will give you a MacBook, but that's what you need. If not, then you need to demand it from your company. If not, if they tell you make too much money or you should do it yourself, then you need to go out and buy one yourself or get a used one or something like that. Same with the phone. I'm going to show you how we can do a few things with these things in a second. So employers have all kinds of software they want to use while you're working from home, but you need to be careful. You need to be careful. If they install anything, I would not let them install anything on my laptop. I would just tell them, tell them my laptop or desk computer probably can't run it. I'm still using XP. Tell them that. Throw the ball back in their court. It's their responsibility to give you the tools to work at home. Tell them you're running Windows 3.1. And just say, hey, I can't install anymore on my laptop or my home computer. The hard drive's full. And I promise you, if you fight that or a little bit, they will work with you to get you the equipment you need to work at home. If they say no, then you won't be able to work from home. Then you go out and buy a $300, $400 laptop. Plain and simple. They need to be separate. Okay. So working from home, the internet, when they give you software, when anyone gives you software, and all software, employees, government, hackers, companies, and ISPs are watching everything you're doing. I am not kidding. I got a letter this week from my ISP, Spectrum, that said that something was downloaded illegally from my network. I am not kidding. I should have brought that in here. If my son's watching it, I want you to bring it over here. Knock on the door first. But it was a letter stating that he downloaded some kind of code. I don't even know. He explained it to me, told me technically it wasn't illegal. I didn't care. But I got a letter from my ISP saying that we downloaded that. And I was like, that infuriated me. For one, my kid should have been using a VPN, which he has total access to, and he wasn't doing it. He said it slowed it down. And so he went off the VPN so he could download it. Strangle his. Anyway, so they watch you. Employers even have software that they can turn the camera on or have snapshots of you throughout the day to see that you're working or not. That is true. And guess what? It's totally legal. So it's their equipment. And there's ways around that. We're going to learn. So anyway, there's ways you can protect your information, but and we're going to get that. So if you said, oh, I can't afford another laptop. They said I have to use my own. So we're going to have to do a thing called a dual boot. You do not have to be a genius to do this. You just have to be able to watch a 3-minute YouTube video and follow instructions. So with my laptop here, it is a MacBook Pro because I'm going to quit with the Mac jokes. And I can boot this laptop into 2 different users. It completely, if you can imagine, it takes the hard drive and separates it into 2. One time you can boot up and I could be Forrest Garvin. The other time I can boot up and I could be you. When I'm you, it does not access or any information that Forrest Garvin used. 0. It's impossible. The only thing is it can share some other information, but we're going to protect that and hide that later. But you can have a dual boot. So imagine you have your home laptop. It could be Windows or it can be Mac. And you can have it so, okay, it's time to go to work. Let me turn the computer off and I'm going to boot up. And it says, hey, do you want this to be your personal laptop or do you want this to be your work laptop? I'm going to do work. Boom. So it boots up with your work. It's nothing. It's a clean slate. And then you can install some of the information, drivers or whatever, not drivers, but software and things and set it up to be a work laptop. When you're done, you turn it off, you boot back up onto yours. Your information is never shared either way. It's called a dual boot. And I'm going to try to say this right. I think it's called Ubuntu. I think that's my next slide. Yes, Ubuntu is a free software that you can do this with. Now, Macs, you can do that. I think with, you don't need a software that, but Windows you do. But you don't need it with Mac, but I still use Ubuntu. I hope that's right. And it's a free software. There's other software that do that, but you can have a Windows machine, have Linux. You can have a dual boot on a Mac. You can have a Windows and, all different combinations. Can a Mac run Windows? It can. It sure can. So anyway, you need the dual boot. Again, you don't need to be a genius. All you need to be able to do is watch I saw a 3-minute video on how to do this. It was a little bit, it was under 4. And then I saw a 10-minute video. And if you can just follow simple instructions, you can set yours up to dual boot. And you can do it right now. I mean, you don't have to wipe your hard drive clean or reinstall Windows or anything like that. You can do it from wherever your laptop is, as long as you have some space on the hard drive. So I hope that's helpful. I Ubuntu. Yeah, people trying to pronounce. Yeah, so I'm doing my best there. Ubuntu. Yeah, I'm saying it kind of close. I listened to a guy speak about it from the company, so I could possibly say it correctly. I know that's lame. That's the way I work. So there's the software. It is free. There are paid versions, but all you would need is free. So you've decided. Now, if you have your corporate computer, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So this is your own computer. Even if you go out and buy a cheap laptop, do the dual boot. You never know. You might need it for some personal things. The dual boot is amazing. If your hard drive is big enough, you can have, I mean, it's amazing to be able to just, give it to your son, let him boot up in his. I mean, it's in all the settings, everything's for his. Okay, one of the things we're not going to do is a virtual machine. A lot of people love the virtual machine. You can actually be running your software, run a virtual machine. You can do that, but there's a huge problem. And you can see right here, virtual machine will not run video conferencing software very well because of delay. So it's running your software, then it runs a software on top of your software. And when you do like video conferencing, the delay is like 10, 15 seconds. It's crazy. You don't want to do that. But if you want to try it, there's a free software called VirtualBox. I use it, but I don't do video conferencing with it. So use it at your own risk there. Again, that's installing the software. Takes minutes to do it. You don't need to be a genius. Okay. USB boot. And some of this may go, what the heck are you talking about? A USB boot is where you can actually put a thumb drive in your computer and have the computer boot up like the USB is the hard drive. We do that a lot with when we get on the dark web or the deep web, the Tor browser, the Tails operating system is what we use there. It works great. It's just slow. It just is not going to be good. Don't even think about it. So next thing. Okay, work from home. So we need to think about the things that the company wants you to use while you're home. Email, Slack, Discord, Teams, Zoom, Skype, and Trello. These are software packages a lot of them use, and they're all in their own way very dangerous to be on your laptop. And we're going to go through some of these and how they're dangerous and then how to use them on your laptop. A dual boot is what you got to do, though. I'm telling you, if you don't know how to do it, get your teenager in there and they'll figure it out and do it for you. Okay? Because us adults will overcomplicate things sometimes, while teenagers will just go through it and do it. Dual booting, running different operating systems on the same machine. Yes. Okay, next. Now you can do, like I have dual boot on my MacBook, and it's the same operating system. Imagine that. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, things that you should protect while working at home. It's not all technology, but it's personal data, personal space, family, and personal profile. We're going to break each one of these things down. These things, you need to separate these things. And here we'll go to personal data. You need to keep your personal phone number. Your employer may know your personal phone number, but the 300 people in your Zoom meeting or whatever, they don't need to know it. They should not have your personal phone, your personal email address. So you should never, when working, use a personal email address. Why? Okay, why? Why? My friend asked me, I said, okay, let's say your company gets sued for fraud. Okay? And they come in and they take computers to find out what was going on. And all of a sudden they show up your door and they grab your computer and say, we have a, whatever you call it. I can't even think right now. They come and impound your computer because you used it for work so they can do their investigation. You can kiss that computer goodbye, because by the time you get it back, it's going to be obsolete because you used it for work, not because something you did, but something the company did. And they want to search on your laptop to see what you have on your laptop, the emails you sent. Oh, it happens all the time. Same with your phone. If you're making phone calls and something happens and Jim at your work does something illegal and you and Jim are texting each other and you call each other because you're coworkers and all of a sudden this is your personal phone, they're going to come and go, hey, we need to see your personal phone. That's why you need to separate it. It's not only the actions that you could do, but what others could do to cause them to come and get what you have, even though you can be completely innocent. So next thing says apps you have to install. We'll get to one app. You'll be amazed at some of the information that an app requests or gathers without you even knowing it. And where you live, a lot of times you reveal that. Your software can grab that. And again, it's more than just the company and your local your employees. So imagine this: you download some software for your company. Y'all are doing your project tracking. But the company you're using, let's say it's XYZ, they get to see all the information. They get to grab information from your computer and they store it. You think it's just you and your bank or you and your employer and the other people. No, there's a third party that created that software and they're hosting that software on the cloud somewhere so you can use it. All your information is there as well. What do they do with that information? Well, what if they have a policy saying we don't do anything with it? What if then they're hacked? Or what if they sell the company and now that policy no longer applies? A lot of things that can happen there. What you are doing on your personal, yeah. So your personal information, you need to completely keep personal and don't share. Hope this is being helpful. So that's personal data. Personal space, your room. So you're in a video conference. You're like, oh, this is cool. Well, I'm seeing all my friends I haven't seen in a while, my coworkers. And all of a sudden behind you, you've got things on your shelf. Maybe have a shotgun over here or a football signed by, let's say, the Miami Dolphins when they went undefeated. And someone asks you, and all of a sudden you could become a target with things in your room. And then they see who you are by looking on your desk. They might be able to see your desk and they go, well, that guy's your boss may go, gosh, he's very unorganized or they're very unorganized. What's that? And he could just question things by the things that they see. Items in the background, we covered that. Also, your company needs to have this policy. Everyone needs to disconnect from all Ring, Alexa, Google Home in the room. So I could be in the room and you can be at your home. We're doing our talk. You ask me a question. Our Google Homes and Alexas, yours is listening to the things I say. That is against my privacy. That's a violation. That's just wrong. And it's recording it. We've seen the reports. And so if I have my Alexa here or Apple, whatever it is, and it hears you, that's wrong as well. So that needs to be a corporate policy so that, and you would think all corporations would go, okay, if we're going to talk about anything secret or anything to our corporation that our competitors don't want to get, that should be a policy. I'm sure a lot of them don't think about that. But anyway, your personal space needs to be private. So private is if you're doing video conferencing in your home for work, you need to have like a black backdrop so they don't see anything except you in the backdrop, nothing else. I take these things a little crazy, So anyway, personal space, family. You don't want photos of your family behind you. Oh, it's so cute. You don't give a crap who these people are. They're coworkers. You don't want them to see the photos on the wall. I mean, you don't know what Bob. I mean, don't share any audio of your family, them talking in the background, photos on the wall, or your family coming in while your video. You got to separate that. Get rid of it. You got to get in the right mindset. That stuff can come back to bite you. I'm just saying. Okay. Personal profile. What's the personal profile? Anything about me, my audio, my video, my photo. But if others see my face and hear the video, they can record it. So I can in any Zoom meeting, I can record my screen and record the entire thing and no one even know it. So don't do that, because you could be say, oh, the boss didn't hear. Hey, did you hear what he did and all this kind of stuff? I'm telling you, that stuff is open. You got to consider it always open for everyone in the world to hear. Employees can record both video and audio, even while you're not in a conference. They have software. They have software on your computers that if it's their computer, they can listen to you and take snapshots and video to see if you're working all the time. Students have this. They have this thing. Anytime they take a test, a lot of students, what an invasion of privacy. They have to get the student up. This is for college, some high schools. Show your ID, photo ID, take your laptop, zoom it around, turn around the room so they can see that no one else is in there. And they force the browser to be open. You can't do anything else till you finish the test. That happens every day. What an invasion of privacy, I think. Even Zoom, the software, can let your employer know when you're not paying attention. Oh, this is a setting in Zoom. So let's say the boss man's talking or someone's talking, and I'm just kind of sitting here and I kind of look over to the side and it follows my eyes. Look this up, Zoom. Now, it has to be checked on my side, but if you have a corporate computer, they can go in there and check it for you. Or you can mistakenly check that. And if you're not paying attention, it lets them know that you're not paying attention to the call. Holy moly. Anyway, just talking with family on Zoom, I'm not even sure I would do that right now until they figure out the security issues. So anyway, there's just in Zoom, that's actually a check in there. You can find it if someone's not paying attention. And I can see right now a lot of you guys are not paying attention. No, I'm kidding. So so we're going to keep going. So someone said, yes, I mean, all these software packages, sometimes it's not your employer, it's a third-party company. Like I said, Zoom is a third-party company. So our corporation is using Zoom, mine doesn't, but let's say yours is. And you're the guy that sets it up says, hey, I'm going to record this. So, Tom's not going to be able to make it today. So we'll record this so he can watch it later. Well, that recording is recorded on Zoom. And guess what? Zoom just found out that all their recordings are available to everyone. And you can I went and saw a list of different Zoom recordings. And if you don't password protect it, boom, the whole world can see it if they know what they're doing. And you're having a private meeting with other colleagues about a situation or a client or a patient, and now it's available to everyone in the world. That is crazy. So it's not only your employer you got to work with, could be concerned about, also the third-party software company. So Zoom meetings are recorded. They're always recorded. Even if you don't do record, Zoom still records them. They confess that. Zoom is an easy thing, right? Here's what you need to do. If you can get by with it, don't use your video camera on a Zoom. Just tell them, hey, I couldn't get my camera to work. Oh, that's okay. We'll start the meeting anyway. The less information you give, them seeing you visually, you can even call in on a Zoom meeting, by the way, and on the telephone. And every Zoom meeting, you can either go through the web, or there's a phone number. So try not to use Zoom. What does Zoom get from you when you install it on your computer? They get your photo. They can snap a photo of you anytime. They get the video. They get your home IP address. They get your name. They get your email. They get your device. What device are you using? Oh, he's using a MacBook Pro with, whatever installed with these drivers. They get the employer, the title. They get your Facebook profile and other information when you install Zoom. So when your corporation, your company says you need to install Zoom and you put this on your personal computer, they're getting personal things from you. Not only your employer, but Zoom is. That you should go, time out. I didn't sign up for this. I need a different laptop. So if you're in that situation right now, tell them that tell them, you know what, I'm not going to encourage you to lie, but you could, if you're having problems with your laptop being slow, saying, hey, my laptop, everything is slow and delayed. It's hard to even do a meeting. Can y'all buy me one? And I'm telling you, force your employer to buy it, to pay for it, or go out and buy a $400 laptop. So, but anyway, let's keep going here. Try using your browser. So one way to protect yourself is don't install the software. A lot of email, there's a way you can get through it through your browser. Slack. You can use Slack, which is a communication tool a lot of companies use. You can totally use that in a browser without installing the software. Same with Discord. You can use your browser without installing the software. Teams, Zoom as well. If there's a Zoom meeting, you don't have to have Zoom installed on your laptop or your phone or your device. You can click on the link. It wants you to download the software and just go, no, I'm not going to, or I can't. And you can use your browser only and do the same things with Zoom. So try to use your browser only to connect. Okay. Skype, I have it in pinkish, thought it was red, but you can't do that with Skype. You actually have to have the software with Skype. And Skype is another software that absolutely, all these they're evasive. You need a new computer or a dual boot computer to protect your information. Okay. Again, I've used this chart in my privacy and security class. So if usability is high when you have no privacy and security, it's easy. I just go to Amazon, it remembers my username and password. I go to Gmail, it remembers my username and password. But as you want to increase your privacy and security, the usability goes down and it gets more difficult, but your privacy security goes up. But the friendliness and usability, meaning, I got to put my password. Oh, it's two-factor authentication. Now I got to put this number in that it just texts me in so I can get to my email. So it's a curve, and life is not pleasant all the way to the right of the screen because it's kind of difficult to get through, but sometimes it's just necessary. Everyone lives on the left-hand side of the screen, and they use the same password for everything. So that is not good. Let's keep going. Phone. Ask your employer for a mobile phone and computer if it's required. If not, use an old phone for all company apps. So everyone has I don't know. I have an iPhone, whatever this is, but I do have an iPhone 8. So I could make the iPhone 8 a complete phone without doing a phone number, just using the Wi-Fi on there. And I can install all the apps that they want me to install on my iPhone. And maybe I don't have to install them on my laptop. You can figure it out. It works. You can also get a phone number for your iPhone 8 or Droid. Do they still make them? I'm sorry. Your iPhone 8. And you can get a phone number on there, and it's cheap, and it's not going through one of the major carriers. It uses Wi-Fi only. So, and we will go through that because I'm going to show you one of my favorite apps in all the world. I will show you. Okay. Email. Do not use your personal email address at any time for any reason whatsoever for work. Don't do it. Don't do it. You shouldn't have to ask me why. Create a new email account. If your company says, most companies, well, some people don't though, I'm telling you, but most companies don't, or they'll say, let's say that you have a job that's a service, and so you don't really have a desk job where you get a computer, but your company wants to get in touch with you through this time, through a phone number or email. maybe you could use your email then, because they're only using it to contact you or to tell you when to come back to work or things like that. But I'm talking about using email where you're emailing other coworkers or clients or vendors or anything like that. Do not use your personal email address. I know as a sales manager you never want your salespeople to do this, ever use a cell phone that is their personal one or email that is their personal one. Because when they leave or you fire them, you want to be able to grab that, have all their contacts, all their emails, and be able to follow up with those that need to be followed up with. That just makes sense. So email, phone, do not use your personal phone number. Don't be calling in the Zelle to Zoom to do conference call with your personal cell phone number. Don't, or your personal email. Don't do it. Stop. That they're getting so much information on you. They know where you work, what your title is, your email, your phone number, roughly where you live, because the IP address, I can at least find out the community you live in, meaning small town. So much information on you, you're just freely given that you don't have to. So anyway, you can do this. Google Voice actually has a free, you can get a free number from Google Voice. Don't install the app. No. Browser only. Put your headphones on. With the Google Voice, it's totally free. You'll get a phone number, and you can sit here and actually call anyone in the United States using that number and get voicemails. Totally free. You just got to call through your computer, and it works great. There's a new phone number right there you can do. I have many Google Voice numbers, many. And I use them for different things, but I'm getting away from Google Voice, and I'll show you my favorite program later. Next thing is you want to do on your computer. If you stick one of these on your computer camera when you call into Zoom and they go, "What is going on? We can't see you." And you go, "Yeah, something's wrong with my camera. I think it's broke." And because what you can see light through these stickers. You put these over your camera, you can see light, especially the white ones or the gray ones, but you can't see anyone. And you can say, "Hey, yeah, my camera's broke. I don't know why it's not working. I'm just not going to be able to do video." I have one of these. If you see here, let me see, make sure that I can see. I'm going to do this. Sorry, guys. Do you see my camera? Look at the very top up there. See that white sticker right there? So I have that over my camera of my phone, and people go, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it blocks my camera." And it doesn't stop my facial thing. A lot of people use that, when you do put your phone up, recognize your face, your camera, it does not use your camera to do that. Your facial recognition. But anyway, but I have that little tab right there, always on my camera, and it tells me it's not black, because I may forget that it's there. And I do forget it's there every time I go FaceTime to my family. And I can peel this off. They're little stickers just like this. You can't see the sticker. Well, maybe you can. And you can see this is a new pack. I've used two. 1, 2 right down here. 1, 2. And I put them on all my cameras. I don't put it on the back so much. Boom. See my 4-leaf clovers? I don't put it on my back, but I do it on the front. Just because when I'm my phone down or I'm doing something, I don't want any software to just snap photos of me. I'm crazy. But you can get these things. They're Silent Pocket. You can use electrical tape. I wouldn't do anything black if you're trying to get your your company to buy something. Do something like this, or even I think I have this another slide here. Let's see if I do. Is use the tape that's not completely clear and it's blurry, so they can still see you, but they can't see you. They know someone's there, but they don't know it's you. I think I have that in here to do that, but that's called Silent Pocket. I don't know what it costs. Why did I buy it? Because it was just easier than I wanted something white. I didn't want something black. And electrical tape, always the sticky stuff, always stays on there. And so these are better. Oh, there we go. Some tape. This is the kind of tape that you can't really see through 100%. So you put that over your webcam and go, gosh, my webcam just can't focus or something. And then boom, that could be your ticket to a company computer. Just saying. And just say that, hey guys, my camera's this way. I'm sorry about that. This is all, man. You don't even have to lie. Just don't tell the truth. And that way they don't have to see you. If you're doing family and friends, peel it off. Fine, no problem. So I hope we're doing good here. Scotch tape, client, yep. Facial, yep. Okay. Facial, yep. Recognition. Okay, let's keep going. So you can use that. Okay, let's talk about web browsers. So I hope this is helpful. Again, I've kind of threw all this together. There's only one. There's a couple web browsers you can use. There's two web browsers you should never use, and if you ever used them, someone should slap you. And that is Safari. I am a Mac guy, and Internet Explorer. You should never use them. In order of the ones you should use in this order is Firefox, Brave, Chrome, and never Internet Explorer, Safari, or Opera. Never. Firefox, Brave, Chrome. No other ones, but in that order. Okay? So we're going to talk about Firefox a little bit. That is the browser you should always use, period, the end. Don't argue. It's just, trust me, it wins every time. And it's free, of course. It's Mozilla. If y'all remember the old days of Netscape. So Firefox is an open source. We love open source. Open source means that everyone can see the code. It means that hackers go in to see if there's any issues with it. Can they break it? Can they gain credibility by finding security problems with it? And that only helps us. So Firefox is the browser we only use. Never Internet Explorer. Never Safari. And sometimes Chrome. That's a better way of saying it. Okay. So, but there's with the Firefox, you download it, you install it, both. It works amazing. There's a few add-ons we want to add, though. See, a little drop-down box, tools, add-ons. We got to add a few add-ons to protect you. Okay. So the first add-on is AdBlock Plus. So when I go to a website and you go to a website, we see the same site, but they're totally looking different a lot of times. When I go to the Drudge Report, there are no ads on there. When I go to USA Today, there are no ads on there. This add-on simply blocks them. All ads. 98% of them. It's amazing. I never see, and it always is an issue when I'm telling people, go right down to below there and click on that. And they go, what? And theirs is all, maybe further down because of all the ads there. And so that does cause a problem sometimes. Also, sometimes you'll go to websites and you can't, they go, you've got ad block. You can't see the site. And that is when you use Brave or Chrome. You don't turn it off saying, okay, I'm going to just turn it off so I can see, this site or allow the site. No. Go and use a different browser like Brave. So anyway, I hope that made sense. So, but sometimes the sites won't let you look at anything on their site because they recognize you have the blocker on. So this is free. It's safe. AdBlock Plus. Next is Firefox Containers. One of the best software add-ons ever created. Ever. Just add it, and I'll tell you why. So Firefox multi-account containers. It's called containers, okay? So that's 2 add-ons we've added. 3, this is less needed now. What is going on in the world, guys? Oh, Trump must be talking or something. So HTTPS everywhere. What that does is when you're surfing, you go to a website, this will automatically default you to the secure website. Most websites have a unsecure and a secure. When it's secure, it actually from your computer to their server, it's secure. It's encrypted. If you don't use the HTTPS that stands for secure, it can be unsecure and people can see exactly what you're doing and information coming back and forth. So this is hopefully this is going to get to a point where we don't need this, but I would still install it. So that's 3 add-ons. And the last one is NoScripts. There is a better one now, but there's some issues with it, meaning people are having less trust with it. But NoScripts, this is hit. If you don't want to install this, that's fine, because this, you have to be, some of your websites won't work because of this. And if you're not a person that can figure out that the reason why it's not working, but it does block like JavaScript and Flash and all these things, but this one's more advanced. And that's all I'll say. So that's 4, but the third one's, if you know. So let's talk about Firefox containers and how we doing here. Doing good. Okay. Let's containers. So what you can do is set up personal profiles for your web browser. And I love it. I use this every day of my life. And I'll show you how I use it. So you can add unlimited containers. So a container is, well, let me just go here. With this, you can have one browser open and have 3 different Gmail accounts open at one time. So I could have my work Gmail. I could have my personal Gmail. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing this. I could have my, whatever, PrepperNet Gmail. I could have all on the same browser, just in different tabs. It keeps each browser window tab as almost like a different browser. And you can never do that with a real browser, because you'd have to log out of one and then log back in. And so let's say then you went to do tab and you logged in with a different one, it's going to recognize it over here that you did that, and it's going to change. It's a mess. But this one allows you to do the same accounts. I do a lot of research with this. Yes, we'll just leave it at that. So it does share your IP address though, and they can learn that and go, oh, they could Gmail or Google go, oh, the same person that has this account has this account and this account, and they use it on the same computer. Information you might not want to give them, but with a VPN, we can hide that. So you can also just have, so what I do is I set up different containers for email. So when I'm in email, I always use my email container. Then I have one for Google. If I want to do a search, I use DuckDuckGo though, but I don't know why I put Google, but most people use Google, DuckDuckGo or Start Page or something like that. I use it to do searching. And then I have a different one for Amazon and shopping. What it does, it doesn't, and then I use a VPN. When I'm going, everyone's been on Amazon and started searching something, and then you go to Google search, and all of a sudden the ads are on Google search, and then all of a sudden you get an email about it, or it's in your email, Gmail, or they have that little ad thing that they can do as well. They all tie in together. When you do this, it doesn't tie them together. It completely takes them separate. So if I do a search on Baofeng radios on Amazon, and now I'm searching on Google, my other tab container, it doesn't recognize and bring that information over. So anyway, love this. So let's go to Brave. Brave is a great app. They actually, at the time that I actually did this, you can see they only had it as a phone app, but it's a great app. It's a brand new browser with built-in ad blocker, tracking, security protection, everything. It is going to be. It's becoming the best browser available. It's still young. It's less than a year old, and within months it will be my go-to browser if it has containers. So VPN. So VPN. Everyone needs a VPN. Even if you're working, you need a VPN. And VPN works amazing. So your computer's on the left, and the sites you go to are on the right. So your computer, it completely encrypts all your information from your computer to your VPN server. It's like double encrypted, to be honest with you. And so once it leaves the VPN server to Facebook or YouTube, it is unsecure then. It can be. But what it does, it allows your ISP to not know what you're searching. Like that document that we got from Spectrum, I would have never gotten that if my son would have used a VPN, which we always try to use a VPN. The only time I don't use VPNs at the house is when I'm live streaming, like right now. But on our phones, everything. So, but it secures your data. So you never want to use a free VPN. Never. The only free VPN you'll ever want to use is when your company pays for it. But don't ever use a free one. And don't think a VPN is your get out of jail free card, because if I was a large nation, let's say with trillions of dollars, and I wanted to spy on my people, I would probably create a VPN company so people think that they're getting secret, they're browsing secret and trying to be anonymous, and I could own the VPN company and see everything they're doing. Why wouldn't they do that? Well, there's a good story that they actually did that. Oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, I think it was a copier company. Oh, it was so. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to study some more on this. The United States government, I think during World War II, we created this machine that did encryption. So you had to have this machine. It wasn't the IGMO or anything, but you had to have this machine. You encrypted it. It sent it off, I think electronically through the phone, maybe not. And then they decrypt it. So you had to have two, and they had to work in tandem. But what the United States did, it was another company in another country that made it. The United States actually owned it. And we were selling this to every nation in the world, and they were using this device, and we were getting all the information. Someone should look that up. There should be a movie about that. But it comes to find out, years and years later, we found out that our government started that and then sold it to all these nations that were using it so we could get their secret messages. I don't even know what the name of it is. And I'm sure there's so many smart people in our group. They probably know exactly what it is once they catch up here. But that's amazing. So don't think that they wouldn't own a VPN company. So anyway, I use two VPNs. I use NordVPN. I'll be honest, I've used Nord for 4 years. Nord was hacked one time, but they didn't get any information whatsoever. Matter of fact, the hack had nothing to do with me. They actually got, like, Nord doesn't keep any log files or anything like that. And even if they didn't get usernames or passwords or anything, their just network was hacked in. And nothing, no harm, no foul, but it did cause them a black eye. I've used them before, gosh, maybe 5 years now. And the only reason I use them, and I'll be completely transparent, is because if you go to PrepperNet and you sign up for NordVPN through my affiliate link, every time someone signs up, I get a free month. So I've got months worth of free, and that's the only reason I use NOR now. Now I let my family use that. I also pay for a VPN, but I don't pay for NOR because people literally sign up, and every time they sign up, I get a month free. Sometimes there's a promotion, and I'll get like 3 months free. And so I don't know when it runs out at this point. I still have it on PrepperNet. People sign up and I get more months free. I don't get any money at all from that, but I guess I save money. But I do use NOR VPN. It is, if you want to, it's like, there's the plans. It's $292. If you do 3 years, I think you can get like a 3-year plan for like $70 or $60 right now. It's so cheap, right? I mean, but anyway, that's NordVPN. It works great. I love the fact that it's in Switzerland, and I like a lot about Nord. The other one is PIA. The reason I like PIA because they have been to court. Let me see if I have that. Okay, there's the price. About the same, guys. $3 a month. And for 2 years, it's $70. You know, it's a little bit more expensive. They have specials. Look for them. But I want you to check this out. So PIA was taken to court twice by the FBI saying, we have these documents. We know that the guy we're trying to send to jail forever was using PIA, and we want to see the sites he went to. And if you read this, the PIA literally went up on the stand and said, FBI, we want to help you, but we can't help you because we don't record any of the information or time or sites, logs. We don't record anything. We're sorry. We really want to help you. Twice they've done that in court, and so they are true to their word. So anyway, but that's PIA. Great. I actually don't have them anymore. I dropped them. The only reason I dropped them because I wanted to pay more. I wanted to have a little bit better one because I use Proton. I use Proton Mail. I use Proton. Proton now is the absolute best email software in the world, period. If the NSA went to Proton server farm, grabbed all the servers, took them back to their facility, and started hacking to crack, see what my emails would say, they could never do it because I have the key. I'm the only way that email can be hacked. Matter of fact, my email, I don't know. You can learn all about it. It's real geek. But I have Proton Mail. PrepperNet uses Proton Mail for security reasons, but they have a VPN. It's more expensive, but I think it's one of the best. So the Proton Mail. So, okay. I should have put a pause in here. Let's see how we're doing on the chat over here. Digital season, smooth spinnings, Gmail, unless, yeah, I would never use Gmail. Okay, so what about Express? Never heard of Express VPN. I'm telling you, the best are the 3 that I just went over. The other ones could be good. I'm just saying, in the hacker community, they love Proton Mail. And they NOR is probably the lowest one of the ones that they like. This is probably NOR is the lowest one they like, but it's a good one. This was the best on the market for years until Proton VPN came out, and now everyone, because Proton, they trust them 100%. So let's go to this. So let's say that you want to have secure, totally secure email, video conferencing, and calls. Very high quality. This is it's called Wire. Wire app is amazing. It's not my favorite, but it is amazing. You can do video conferencing. Everyone has to be on it. So if your office needs to get together and actually have secure communication, this is the one I would use. Signal used to be my one. But Signal, you actually have to give them a phone number. It works off a phone number. Wire is totally anonymous. You can use a made up email, and you can set passwords for your video conferencing. So I don't care what email you use, but if you don't have this, 17-digit password with random characters, you can't get into my conference call. That's how I know you are who you are, not because your email. It works great. A lot of people in the privacy and investigators and a lot of lawyers that talk to their clients use this software because it is end-to-end encrypted, and it is trusted by a lot of companies, a lot of private investigators, a lot of lawyers, a lot of I'll say doctors that do consulting and counselors that do consulting when it needs to be private. Now, they're not going to probably go out and tell the world because it might not meet some of the standards of the government, because the government, all the different things that they have, HIPAA and all that, but this is what they use. It's great. I have it. I don't use it a lot because a lot of my friends aren't on it, but it works. I use Signal because all my friends have Signal. Okay, we're getting here. So again, it's crystal clear calls. It's just great. If you have a family and y'all want to just conference call and talk and you just want to be private, this is for you. FaceTime is somewhat private, but here it is. This is my favorite app of all times ever created in the world. I think God himself allowed us to create this. It is called Pseudo. You need no email, you need no phone number, and you get a phone number, you get an email, you get private browsing, and you can do conference calls. Also with this, I can have 9 numbers on one phone, 9 numbers through this app. Their entire purpose of being in existence is to protect your information 100%. So you can talk, text, email, browse, private browsing, all that from this one app. So here they do have different plans. So I have the Pseudo Max. Check this out. 9 pseudos. So I get 9 phone numbers, unlimited messages and calling for 9 numbers. So I'll go through some of the numbers I have. I won't go through them all. 9 email addresses. And then I can, do text. So check this out. As you guys know, I am the CEO of Sun Ovens International, which if you don't buy one, you're going to die. So instead of giving people my real cell phone number that I have, I created a pseudo. So when someone calls me on my Sun Oven number, it comes up, it rings just like a normal phone. I got different ringers actually, which is pretty cool. It rings and it says Sun Oven International call coming in. I answer it. Oh, this is Forrest from Sun Oven. They have no clue. I guess it's a virtual phone number. It's a sign. So I can, and so with that, it tells me I have a different contact list for them as well in that software. So I know who's calling, I know how to answer it, and then I can send my email through that as well. And it's like I got a different phone. And then let's say someone calls me from PrepperNet. Like some of my city leaders, they have a different phone number. Boom, it says PrepperNet City Leaders. I'm like, hey, it's Forrest. I know it's someone I probably know. They're the only ones that have that phone number. Amazing. Here's another, and so that's 2. I'll share one more. So let's say that we have some bikes we'll probably sell maybe on Craigslist. So I go to Craigslist. I'm like, hey, here's my bikes. Here's some photos. Hey, if you're interested, give me a call at this number. Maybe I'm using pseudo number 8. And they call me and say, hey, I want the bikes. Okay. And we meet to get the bikes. I never want to hear from that person again, ever. Never. So what I can do is I can burn that number, pay $1 and get a brand new number for that onto my phone. So I use that number. I sold bikes. I never need that phone number again. I pay $1. I get a brand new phone number for my slot number 8, and then I can use it again. I love that. The only limitations there are to that sometimes is some places won't take your virtual number as when they want to verify you. That's about the only thing that I've ever come up with. But so there, I love that app. You can do that for your work. Oh, let me give you my number, and you don't give them your personal cell phone number because you're not going to be working there, and they're going to, your information is going to be hacked. Your information will be hacked. If you're a business person, I guarantee you're in LinkedIn hacked. Actually, I can guarantee you 100% that your information has been hacked. Equifax. If you have any credit whatsoever, they were hacked. All your information was stolen from Equifax. And if you weren't in the LinkedIn, you've been hacked. Your information's out there. So what you got to do is you got to give them things like this. So when you're hacked, it doesn't even bother you. So anyway, that's my best favorite software in the world. I absolutely love it. It is insecure. So for work, what's your email? Oh, I'm going to use slot number 6 for this. Here's my email. You can put this, you use this when you call me or use this for the Zoom meetings and stuff. What's your phone number? Boom. Here's my phone number for Zoom. Boom. And you've got your now isolated on your phone, your work, if you don't want to buy a new one. Anyway, there you can talk, text, create emails, browse. It's amazing. Love it. I wonder if I could get affiliate. I don't even care, but I don't even know. Okay, that is it, guys. I hope I'm going to stay in the chat room for a little bit and answer any questions that I see. If you have a question, type it in all caps, or at least question in all caps, so I can see what a question is. Hey, don't forget to support us when you go to preppernet.com. Also, don't forget our class 3 of the 7 for Intro to Preparedness. That's this Thursday night. And I think that is it. That is it. So let me go to the chat room and see if there's any questions whatsoever. Proton, Proton is really good. What about virtual? Everyone has different software. Absolutely. I've tested most of, and I recommend what I think is the best and most secure. Someone said something about Signal. I just saw security software. Do you recommend? What do you mean by security software? I don't understand the question. Video app for laptops. You got to be more. Is that like video chat? Is that what? Thanks for good information. Okay. So, but someone says use Signal. Yeah, Signal's great. Absolutely. But you have to give up your phone number for that. And Signal, which means you can only have one profile. With Wire, I can create 10 different profiles and just log out and log back in with a different profile. Have you ever Start Page for secret? Yes, I've used Start Page. I like DuckDuckGo, but Start Page is awesome as well. Instead of Zoom, what is good for connecting? See, Zoom has got some security issues right now. They're working because I actually sent them an email and they actually responded, believe it or not, because I was asking, I wanted more information about their security issue. But there's Microsoft Team, which again is, I know, you know what? I worked at the bank and Microsoft was our thing for years. And people absolutely have drunk the Kool-Aid on Microsoft. I have a Microsoft laptop right here, and I don't use it because every time I turn it on and turn it off, it stays on for 15 minutes and it updates software. And it ticks me off that every friggin' day they have updates for their software. And what a lousy company to have your software updated every single day or week. I use a Mac. My software is updated maybe, I don't know, once a month at best. And I'm just saying that's okay. Does sudo have limitations or minutes? No, if it depends on the package you get when it comes to that. Let me go back here. I showed you the packages that it has. So if you, it does have, so if you go with the basic package, so the basic package or for three, I think the prices have changed, but I'm not sure. The one number, the smaller one, you get 3 pseudos. You get only one phone number though. But you get 3 email accounts, which you won't phone numbers. It's 100 messages out, unlimited in. And so each one, but if you do the max one, it's unlimited, but the middle one is 300 minutes out. So, but I think all calls coming in are free. Let's see if there's any more questions. Husband joined. Thank you for. Yeah, I knew this would not be good for everyone, guys. I didn't know that. Firefox Ad Blocker Plus is not. This is not a recommended extension. I don't care, Dana. Make sure you trust it before installing it. Should I be concerned? No. AdBlock Plus is one of the most used. It's used on many different browsers. Make sure you're getting these plugins though from Mozilla. I wouldn't think sudo app is good for setting up a burner phone. Yes, Gary, but a burner phone. So the question is the sudo app good for a burner phone? It is, but there's a few other things you got to do. So let's say that this is my burner phone. I'll just go through the scenario real quick with you guys. First thing, I would buy this phone probably off Craigslist in Georgia. I live in North Carolina. I would literally drive down there and pick up many cell phones, okay, because I have friends and family want. So I would buy this, pay cash, grab it, drive back here. I would wipe the entire thing again to make sure it's wiped. Then I would get a Mint Mobile card. Mint Mobile is a phone card that you can get off of Amazon, and you can buy, I think, a whole year for like, I don't even know, it's cheap, but you have to buy it the right way. So in my class, and Gary, I'm sure you've probably taken that class, is how to buy things anonymous on Amazon. Or you can walk into, I think Walmart sell them as well. Go in there and pay cash. So what you want is you need a phone service that doesn't tie to you. And Mint Mobile, you can do that. So now you got a phone that's not tied to you ever. Oh, first of all, you never turn this phone on at your house. The burner phone is a lot of work, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of work. You get a silent pocket. You put this sucker in there and you drive home. You turn it off. You drive home. You never use your burner phone from home. Never. A true burner phone. You buy the phone from another state. You get Mint Mobile. You buy it anonymous, 100%, and then you install it on your phone. You register it, and you use an email address that is one that you can't be traced to you. There's a lot of things. And then you buy sudo, which you can use a gift card to buy the sudo to put on here. So now you don't use the actual phone number that comes with the phone. You only use the sudo phone numbers, and that means it. And so it's a long process. But is there a way to have a true burner phone? Yes. Is it hard? Yes. Are there a lot of steps? Yes. Is it taught in my privacy class? Yes. And I go through every step you need to take. In the way I tell you how to set it up, The only time that will ever fail is when you screw it up, or I. That's the only time it works. It's proven. The guy that had trained me, he does this for his high profile clients, people that go into witness protection, because you don't even want the phone company to be able to listen to your phone calls. That's why you can't use your real phone number on your phone. You want to use pseudo, so all your conversations are private. So anyway, okay, next question. Let's see here. Will this video be available for view? Again, yes, I'll keep it up for a couple weeks. Which service would you recommend for use in teaching videos for the city groups? I would use Zoom is good, but you have to use a password. So when that means that when it's recorded and it's sitting on the Zoom server, it is there, but people can't access it unless they have a passcode. And they can't get in unless they have a passcode. So you got to have a password. A lot of people are not doing the password thing, and they're highly recommending, to do a password. So Zoom, FaceTime is, Apple products. Apple knows everything that I'm doing on this. Everything. Probably even the words coming out of my mouth. But Apple is one of the few companies that they never, ever, ever share your information, not even with the government a lot of times. And they're the ones that have put, if you take facial recognition off this phone, Apple themselves can't crack this phone, is what they're saying at this point. And the government hates it, and they're trying to pass some laws in this to get around that. But Apple cares about your privacy, but it's kind of weird. They care about it more than any other company out there, but they know everything you're doing with it as well. So, which is, I know. Great work from home. Follow same guidelines, went to school. Okay. So school, your kids, you know what? If your kids are doing work for school, you need to spend, and if they are not provided a device from the school, you go buy a Chromebook and put your kids on that and let them just use it for school, or an iPad, and let that just be school only, no private. Of course, they're going to mix their texting and stuff and everything, but you do the best you can. Do you register your own number with Pseudo? No, Pseudo does not ask for your number at all. How do they know where to send calls to? It goes through the software. You don't even need cell service to use Pseudo. So if you were at home and only on Wi-Fi, which I have another device. So there's two devices that you need. You need one device that is a burner phone. It is never used anywhere near your house, never. But then you have a home phone, and it's you only thing you use is an iTouch that doesn't have the GPS on it. And then you install Pseudo on that, and you can use that anywhere you want to go as long as you're on the Wi-Fi. But yeah, so Pseudo doesn't ask for your phone number. And they don't use your phone number to send the phone calls. It goes through the software. So their software, they know they know how to get that phone call to the software on your phone. And so I hope that helps. I actually had that a part of my privacy and security presentation online, but I took it down because I'm getting ready to start that class here soon. Any other questions? I'll take a few more questions. But the kids, oh gosh, I know 2 years ago there was a teacher that got in trouble for spying on her kids when they weren't even doing schoolwork. So don't think, just know, I don't know how to say this. Don't trust anyone, teachers, schools, government, with your privacy. You have to take it back, or corporations. You have to take your own privacy serious and take steps to make sure that they can't do what they want to do with your information. That the story I've told for years now is the time that Target knew the family's daughter was pregnant before the family did. And the father was ticked that he's getting all these mailings about baby stuff and emails about baby stuff. And he called Target. You can look the story up and said, "Why are you sending me this stuff? I don't want my daughters to see all this stuff, this baby stuff." And Target goes, "Well, we're sending this stuff because someone at your house has been searching it." And then the light bulb went off, and that's how he found out his daughter was pregnant. A true story. You can look that up. Oh, that was in 2012. Look at 2012. Target was doing that. That was 8 years ago. So on all iPads, I mean, for your kids, I'd block every camera. Absolutely. I don't see any more questions coming in, so I'm going to end this thing. And, I hope this was helpful. If you guys want to email me a question or two, I don't have a problem with that. It just takes me a little bit of time to get back to you guys on that. So with that said, I think we are done. No more questions. So, hey, join us Thursday night, guys, at 8:00, and for our class 3. And we'll be back here next Sunday. I think I have Margie Wildcraft coming to be my guest next Sunday. That's on the schedule. I think I just need to confirm it with her. So, no questions. Peace out. Thank you, guys. Take care. God bless.